how you doing out there? Good to see you. Come on in. This is Colin Daniel from riffninja.com. I'm here to tell you about my new strumming course and give you a little taste of what I like to do. This is a way to improve your strumming by adding a bass note or root note to a chord progression. It can embellish what you play quite a bit. It can add quite a bit more character to it. We're going to talk for a minute. I'm going to take a simple chord progression: C, G, A minor, F, C, G, F, C. So it uses 4 chords: C, F, and G. And you can play your F any way you like, but I play a full bar, and we'll discuss that further in a second, the reason why I play a full bar. But the G and C are pretty standard. G, C, and the A minor are really standard. A minor. The F is the most difficult. It's the bar chord. You can play it elsewhere on the fretboard, but I'll give you a reason why. Okay. When we add bass notes to a strum, it adds a little personality and a little rhythm to it. And the best choice, if you're going to start to add bass notes to your strum, is the root note. The root note of the chord is the note that the whole chord and the chord harmony is built around. In a chord, we need 3 different notes or more. You see, if you take a look at the C chord here, which is the first chord we're going to start with in this progression, the C chord has 5 strings, but it's only got 3 different notes in it. You have a C, you have an E, you have a G, you have a C, and you have an E. So you have a repeat of some of the notes in the chord, right? And that's okay, repeats are okay, but it's got to have at least 3 different notes to be considered a chord. And so now you need to find the note that the chord was built on. Well, the root note of the chord is pretty much what the name of the chord is based on. So if you've got a C major chord, the major describes its character. Major is strong, minor is sadder or weaker, and those are our musical colors that we have to work with, right? So from C major, major is the color which is the harmony it describes, and C is the root note. So you have to find the lowest C on your chord, right? And in this case, with this chord, this is my C root. Now I like to play a C with a G bass, but that's not my root note. The G isn't my root note. The C is still my root note. So C is the root note. It's on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Then when we move to the G major chord, the G is my root, and that can be found on the 3rd fret, 6th string. Then we go to the A minor, and it's an open string that's the root in this case. It's the A 5th string open. This is the root note. Now this is why I play an F bar chord here, because I like to get a nice low bass note, and if I'm playing and barring all 6 strings, I get the low F. If you play the F chord like this is a slash chord. The root isn't here. This is not an F. This is a C on the 5th string. It's your 4th string that's the root. So if I was going to play a root strum, I'd have to play the higher F, whereas I like the lower F here, right? On the 6th string rather than on the 4th string. The 5th string is not the root. It's a bass note that's possible, but it's not the root. And since I didn't want to go super deep into this and spend a half an hour here getting into some really complex inversions, which is what would happen, I wanted to first start you out with the root, which is a good place to start. So the root, so of course the downfall to either this chord, which is an F major slash C chord, F major slash C. The slash means that you've got a C note, a lower C note that's lower than the actual root note that's in the chord. If you play it here, then it's no more a slash chord because it's F major with the bass or the root note on the 6th string. And A minor is the open, right? So we've covered all our chords. So now you have to practice your pick. It's a different motion First thing to get used to it, first thing you want to do is just go through the progression, pick the bass note once and strum it once. So you'll go bass, strum, and it's a down strum. So bass, strum, bass, strum, bass, strum, bass, strum. Root every time, right? Bass, strum, bass, strum, bass, strum, bass, strum. And you can count it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty easy. Now, once you get more comfortable with that, like there's a bunch of hints that'll help your picking a little bit. For example, when I pick down on the C root, I actually let my pick rest against the next string. So I pluck the 5th string, let it rest on the next string, and then when I have to strum, I just let the C root note ring out and then strum from the 4th string down. So you get, same with the G chord, I pick the bass note off the 6th string and then strum the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, right? The rest of the chord. Then here for the A minor, I strum the A bass note, which is open 5th string, and then strum the 4, 3, 2, and 1 strings. And for the F, I hit the bass note on the 6th string and then strum the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. And that's how I get that, right? So that helps a lot. It helps you control your pick. I mean, I can do a lot more complicated strum patterns where I don't need to rest my pick up against the strings. That's just for some of you that are struggling a little bit. Okay, and then in the end, what you want to do is you want to add more to the strum. So first I showed you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You know, that's a down pick on the bass note and then a down strum. Now let's add a little more. Let's do a down, down, up. So down, down, up, 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 down, down, up. Now you can count that by going 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so your bass note is a quarter note, and your down up strum is 8th notes, right? So the 8th note has to be in the same time duration as your quarter. So when you go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 just like that. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and... Doesn't that sound good? You'll get more relaxed with it and get a little smoother with it, I'm sure. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for giving me some time. And if you want to check my workout further, you can come to the Riff Ninja, riffninja.com, the Riff Ninja Academy, and we have a 3-day free trial if you want to check it out. Anyways, take care, have fun, play on.